Hi, this is Mark from Photonify.com. Thanks for watching this quick video on how to install and use the Spring collection of our Lightroom presets. I'm going to walk you through some installation tips and some best use cases for the Spring collection Lightroom presets. So let's jump right in. Okay, so the first thing that you will do is come on to Photonify.com and grab the presets that you're wanting to use. In this case, we're talking about the Spring preset collection. On this page, you can read a little bit about what the Spring preset collection has for you. This one has actually more than 33 Lightroom presets. We cover what versions of Lightroom it's compatible with. It's compatible with the latest version. This includes the Lightroom Classic as well as the Lightroom CC. And then we have some examples of the Spring Collection preset being applied to different images here. All right. So we'll go ahead and download one of these presets. So here's the purchase confirmation page here at the top, and here toward the bottom of your receipt is a link to the files. So we're going to go ahead and download this. It typically downloads in a zip format. My computer will automatically unzip that and turn it into a folder, and that folder will be found down here in my downloads. From here, I like to move my presets onto the desktop so that I can prepare them for installation into Lightroom. Now let's go through installing these presets that we just purchased into Lightroom. So I move to a new area here on the desktop. I'm going to use Lightroom Classic, which the majority of you, I believe, are also using. Okay, so here is Lightroom Classic, and what I need to do to get my presets that I just downloaded from Photonify.com into Lightroom to begin using, I come up to the menu up here and I move my mouse down to Preferences. Shortcut is Command, comma. Open up my Preferences. Along the top tab bar here, we have General and Presets, External Editing, File Handling, Interface, Performance, etc. We're wanting to look inside of the Presets tab. And then the third area from the top, we have these two options here. There's been a lot of changes going on as Adobe has moved from the LR template to the XMP format for the Lightroom presets. One of them will automatically organize your presets. The other one will not organize them. In fact, all the presets that you ingest are going to end up in a user preset folder, which is less than desirable, and a lot of people have found that causes some irritation, because then you're manually organizing all of those. While this is the case, our files that we provide include the different formats, and so when you do the method I'm about to show you, it will automatically organize the presets for you by category type, or by the name of the folder that they came in. And in this case, it's the Spring collection. So all of the presets that we install today will fall underneath a category called Spring collection over here in the presets menu. So, and the way to do that is we want to select the Show All Other Lightroom Presets. That will take us to a folder deep in our file system, Adobe Lightroom, and we're going to go to Develop Presets. And instead of dropping them into User Presets or inside of Lightroom Presets, we're going to drop them next to these two folders. And what that's going to do is it's going to force Lightroom to organize our Lightroom presets that we just downloaded from Photonify.com into categories based on the name of the folder they're coming from. So with that, I'm going to open up the folder I just downloaded. So what I'm going to do, and I typically copy these folders just in case something goes sideways. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into this folder next to these other two preset folders. And we'll see that all of the files are right here inside of this folder. You'll notice that we have both file types. We have the LR template and the XMP. You only actually need one of these. The data inside is identical. The difference being the LR templates, which are legacy formats, they will be converted when they're imported. And what's going to happen is Lightroom is going to organize the LR templates and bring the folder name, Spring Presets, as a category for the rest of the presets to fall under, which is going to be beneficial, and you'll see why here in a minute. All right, so now they're here underneath the Develop Presets under Lightroom. So let's go back to Lightroom. The next thing that we need to do is simply reset Lightroom. So quit out of it and then open it back up. And the system will then recognize what we just did by dropping those presets inside of that folder. Okay, we're launching Lightroom again. And we'll give it a second here, but you'll see that Lightroom will recognize in the file system that that folder was dropped next to those older presets, and it's going to run, there you go, that conversion. And we get this notice that says all custom developed presets were successfully converted to XMP. What this is referring to are those LR templates that we dropped in there. Lightroom just converted all those LR templates into XMP format. Well, you saw the other XMP files in there. Lightroom didn't do anything with those. Lightroom grabbed the LR template files, extracted the folder name that all of those LR templates were inside of, and put those into and created a category based on that folder name. That folder name was Spring Presets, and so now we have a nice organized folder with only Spring Presets inside. Pretty nice, right? Okay, so now that we have our presets all loaded inside here, let's pick a good preset that we can use on this photo here. Okay, personally, I like to see the before and after while I'm picking a preset. So here's our before and after on the right side, identical images, but now we're going to start seeing the changes as we apply some of these presets. So let's check out the first one here. All right, I kind of like that. It brightens up the picture a little bit, but maybe washes out some of the colors. The second one brings back some of the contrast. Ooh, this one enhances some of the warm tones. This one reduces some of the noise. You notice what happens in the background, right? Probably some dehazing going on there. This one's interesting. When you look at it compared to the original, it looks like, oh, the coloring's off. But when you have an entire album or a series of photos that are using a preset like this one, the Spring 3 General Cooler, it actually creates a pretty nice tone and feel for the photos. Again, you notice when we add the plus here, what we've been doing is we've been reducing some of the grain and some of the haze here. We've been applying a greater amount of dehaze. Okay. Let's go to this one, natural. You notice what happens here, right? We lose some of the colors. The greens in the background are desaturated to a degree. You notice that? And then some of the oranges are preserved. Okay, I'm going to go with either the warm or the warm fade on this one. Let's go with the warm, and if we want to add some fade, we'll do that. So I'm going to go from the before and after screen just to the actual image itself, and let's take a look at some of the edits that have been built into this preset that gets you going right out of the gate. So we can see that some of the temperature was automatically changed a little bit here, right? Pulled more toward the blue. The tint, we've added some changes here with the tint, right? If we wanted to play with that a little bit more, oh, it's starting to turn a little bit too green, a little bit too purple, right? The temperature, cooler or warmer, right? We'll undo those, right? Exposure has gone up. Maybe we bring the exposure down a little bit. These presets will get you going. They aren't always going to be perfect. Sometimes, and this is actually pretty great when it happens, your preset is going to be perfect and you don't need to touch the photo after that, which is awesome. But I find a lot of times there's a small tweak here or there that will really make the preset go the distance. And the great thing is that you can take what you've done and you can save that as a new preset and then apply it to subsequent photos. If you don't need to do any tweaking, then you can just keep applying the same preset to a whole series of photos and you're good to go. All right. So let's go down a little bit further. We notice the highlights are dramatically reduced in this here, right? To bring it back up, you lose a lot of the detail in the wedding dress and the shirt. You can see that right there. Even if we bring it back to the normal settings of 0, right? You've already lost a lot of details. So bringing it down really brings out bringing it down even further, right? Brings out a lot more detail in the shirt and in the dress. Shadows, right? We lose a lot of detail in the background when we do the shadows if we're wanting to highlight the front. Right, what we can do here. Again, these edits weren't built into the preset, and I'm doing these to enhance further the photo, just to achieve the right feel here. If at any time you kind of get lost, you can reset it, or you can come back and just reapply the preset as it was to begin with, like we've done right here. All right, we see here that underneath the blue tab, we've got some modifications happening as well, moving things even further and increasing the saturation. There's some edits here in the reds as well. We've got some oranges that are being modified. Greens have been dramatically modified here. You notice this is where that saturation we discussed earlier, where it looked as if the saturation in the greens had been decreased, which is really the case, right? We can bring that back up, brings out the vegetation in the background. You see that? Now, one of the subjects here has blue eyes, so if we really wanted to enhance the color there, we could adjust these knobs, or another way is to apply a brush, and we would create a mask over the eyes, and we would enhance that specific area separately instead of applying this to the entire image. All right. Split toning was largely untouched for this specific preset. Lens correction. This one's kind of up to you, depending on the camera that you're using. Some people use a smartphone, but if you're using a DSLR, it's likely that Lightroom has the profile for your DSLR stored in the system. And so if I enable profile corrections, it should detect, there we go, the camera that I used to take this image. So yes, it was an icon, very good. Yep, it nailed the lens. Yep, so it got the lens right, it got the camera, the make of the camera correct, and it will apply a lens correction. So it's a subtle difference, but the places where you'll notice the changes are around the edges. Lenses are circular, right? So the image can be warped to a degree. What this does is it will correct that warping. So if you'll notice up in the corner here when I select this, distortion is slightly corrected. It flattens the image out. All right, so we'll leave that off. All right, and there you have it. So that is the Spring Collection preset. They're great for outdoor photos. It takes a lot of the colors that you're going to get in a human subject and emphasizes those, and it can desaturate some of the vegetation colors like we showed you with the greens. And really give you a consistent look and feel across multiple images as you are using them on your spring photography. All right, and that's it. Thanks for watching this video. We walked you through how to install and use the spring collection of our Lightroom presets. Hopefully this was helpful, and we encourage you to go try them out on your photos. Come back to Photonify.com and see what other preset collections are just right for you. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.